The news broke on a Tuesday morning, not with a bang, but with a quiet flicker on trading screens from New York to Tokyo. It was the kind of morning where the world's financial centers were just waking up, coffee cups in hand, eyes glued to the endless stream of numbers and headlines. But this time, something was different. The usual hum of anticipation was replaced by a sudden, collective pause, a moment when the world seemed to hold its breath. A single headline from a major financial wire service sent ripples through the markets. Philippine GDP growth forecast revised to 8.2%. It was a number that seemed almost impossible, a figure that defied expectations and instantly demanded attention. Traders and analysts alike stared at their screens, double-checking the source, wondering if they'd misread the digits. Analysts blinked, refreshed their screens, and wondered if it was a typo. It wasn't. The confirmation came quickly, and with it, a wave of disbelief. For years, the Philippines had been a quiet player, rarely making headlines in the world's financial pages. Now, it was front and center. Suddenly, the Philippines, a nation of over 7,000 islands, was the center of global attention. From the bustling streets of Manila to the remote fishing villages, the entire country felt the world's gaze shift in its direction. It was as if a spotlight had been switched on, illuminating a story that had long gone unnoticed. Investment banks were flooded with calls. Fund managers demanded answers. Phones rang off the hook as clients from London, Hong Kong, and Singapore wanted to know what they were missing. The sudden surge in interest was unprecedented, and the financial world scrambled to catch up. In Manila, the mood was electric. Makati's skyline buzzed with cranes and confidence. Construction sites worked overtime, and the city's energy was palpable. There was a sense that something big was happening, something that could change the country's future forever. News channels ran special reports. Economists spoke of a paradigm shift. Roundtable discussions filled the airwaves, with experts debating what this growth meant, not just for the Philippines, but for the entire region. The narrative was no longer about catching up, it was about leading the way. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index soared to record highs. Investors cheered as stocks surged, and the trading floor erupted in celebration. For many, it was a moment they'd only dreamed of, a validation of years of hard work and resilience. This wasn't just another emerging market story, it was a nation stepping into the spotlight. Filipinos everywhere walked a little taller, proud to see their country finally recognized on the world stage. The sense of national pride was unmistakable. The world, long distracted by other narratives, was finally paying attention. International headlines blared the news, and social media buzzed with speculation. For the first time in decades, the Philippines was not just a footnote, it was the headline. The shock quickly turned to curiosity. What was driving this transformation? Journalists and analysts dug deeper, searching for the story behind the numbers. Was it a fluke, or was there something more substantial at play? For decades, the Philippines was a footnote in global economics. Now, it was the headline. Old reports were dusted off, timelines redrawn, and the world began to realize that this was a story years in the making. Reports showed new airports, high-speed trains, and bustling economic zones. Infrastructure projects that had once seemed like distant dreams were now realities, fueling growth and optimism across the archipelago. The narrative was shifting in real time. Every hour brought new updates, new milestones, and new reasons to believe that the Philippines was on the verge of something extraordinary. International news crews booked flights to Manila, eager to see the boom firsthand. Reporters packed their bags, ready to capture the energy and excitement that was now radiating from the heart of Southeast Asia. They wanted to meet the new tech entrepreneurs and see the policies behind the surge. The world was curious about the people and ideas driving this remarkable turnaround, about the innovators, the leaders, and the visionaries shaping the new Philippines. That ticker tape headline did more than report a number. It announced a new global player. It was a signal that the rules of the game were changing, and that the Philippines was ready to play on the world's biggest stage. The world stopped and asked, what is happening in the Philippines? Boardrooms, newsrooms, and living rooms everywhere buzzed with the same question as the country's story unfolded in real time. The answer was about to shock them. The Philippines was no longer just a story of potential, it was a story of arrival, and the world was watching, waiting to see what would happen next. For decades, when people talked about Asia's economic miracles, the spotlight always seemed to shine brightest on China, India, and Vietnam. These countries became synonymous with rapid growth, innovation, and global influence, capturing headlines and attracting waves of investment from around the world. The Philippines, meanwhile, was often overlooked, regarded more as a source of overseas labor than as a dynamic, thriving economy in its own right. Its talented workforce powered industries abroad, but back home, the country's potential was underestimated and its story largely untold. Investors hesitated, wary of the Philippines' history of boom and bust cycles and political uncertainty. Many saw it as a risky bet, unsure if the country could ever break free from its past and deliver sustained growth. Growth was steady but quiet, often overshadowed by its louder, more aggressive neighbors. The Philippines moved forward, but rarely made headlines or drew global attention. But now, the quiet tiger is finally roaring. The country's transformation is impossible to ignore, and its energy is palpable in every corner of Manila and beyond. Years of careful groundwork, reforms, infrastructure, and education are paying off. Global investors are taking notice, eager to be part of the Philippines' next chapter. Billions in foreign investment are now flowing into manufacturing, technology, and renewable energy. New industries are rising and the country is diversifying beyond its traditional strengths. Boardrooms worldwide are making the Philippines a priority, recognizing its strategic location, skilled workforce, and untapped potential. The country is no longer just a participant in Asia's growth story. It's becoming a primary author, shaping the region's future and setting new standards for success. The narrative has shifted from mere potential to real, measurable performance. The Philippines is proving it can deliver results and drive innovation. The world is waking up to the fact that it may have missed one of the most compelling economic turnarounds of our time. A story of resilience, ambition, and transformation. The quiet tiger is awake, and it's hungrier than ever, ready to claim its place among Asia's true powerhouses. To grasp the scale of today's transformation, we must remember what held the Philippines back. Congested roads, aging ports, and inefficient airports made business costly and slow. Political volatility and bureaucratic red tape scared off investors. Corruption and shifting policies created uncertainty. Geography brought natural disasters, typhoons and earthquakes, diverting resources from long-term growth. These challenges fostered a narrative of perpetual potential that never materialized. Growth came in fits and starts, but momentum was always lost. Overcoming these obstacles required vision, investment, and resolve. That effort is now underway. The most visible sign of change is the massive infrastructure boom sweeping the Philippines. The government's Build, Build, Build program is transforming the nation's backbone. New world-class airports like the New Manila International Airport are opening the country to global business and tourism. Expressways, bridges, and the North-South commuter railway are slashing travel times and connecting regions. Modernized ports are turning the Philippines into a competitive shipping hub. These upgrades mean lower costs, faster deliveries, and new opportunities for businesses and workers. Infrastructure is no longer a barrier, it's an engine of growth. Rural businesses can now reach global markets. Job opportunities are spreading beyond the capital. The physical barriers of the past are dissolving. Yesterday's dreams are becoming today's reality. Infrastructure is the skeleton, but people are the muscle and mind. The Philippines' greatest asset, its youth. With a median age of 25, the country boasts a young, dynamic workforce. This demographic sweet spot fuels both production and consumption. Millions of skilled, English-speaking Filipinos power the global BPO industry, and more. The workforce is moving up the value chain, software, design, finance, and more. As other nations age, the Philippines invests in its future. This demographic dividend is a structural advantage for decades to come. The country's human capital is its greatest strength. The Philippine economy is powered by both established strengths and new frontiers. The BPO sector has evolved into a high-tech, multi-billion-dollar industry. Overseas Filipino remittances provide a stable, vital boost to the economy. These inflows fuel consumer spending and grassroots growth. Meanwhile, a tech startup boom is underway. Fintech, e-commerce, and logistics are thriving. Venture capital is pouring in, creating high-skilled jobs and a culture of innovation. The economy is now diversified, resilient, and less vulnerable to shocks. Manufacturing, tourism, and renewables are rising alongside digital industries. Multiple engines are propelling the nation forward. The Philippines' resurgence is shaped by global geopolitics. Its strategic location in Southeast Asia makes it a vital trade and security partner. As supply chains shift, the world is looking for alternatives to China. The China Plus One strategy is driving investment into the Philippines. Multinationals are building factories in Clark, Batangas, and Cebu. This is creating jobs, transferring technology, and moving the country up the value chain. The Philippines is now a centerpiece in the Indo-Pacific's economic architecture. The China Plus One wave is a historic opportunity. The nation is perfectly positioned to ride it. Bold reforms have unlocked the Philippines' potential. New laws allow 100% foreign ownership in key sectors, attracting global capital. Bureaucracy is being streamlined and digitalization is cutting red tape. Anti-corruption drives and transparency are boosting investor confidence. The financial sector is robust, and the stock market is surging. Inflation is under control, and credit ratings are rising. The result: a dynamic, competitive market open for business. The Philippines is now seen as a secure, reliable place to invest. The message is clear: the country is open for growth. The new Philippines is rising not just in Manila, but across the entire archipelago. From the bustling heart of the capital to the farthest islands, a wave of transformation is sweeping the nation. The sun rises over a country determined to redefine its future, fueled by the collective spirit of its people. Regional cities like Cebu, Davao, and Iloilo are booming, spreading opportunity and prosperity far beyond the capital. These urban centers are becoming engines of growth, attracting investments, creating jobs, and nurturing local talent. The energy is palpable as new businesses open and communities thrive. Growth is more balanced and inclusive than ever before. Rural areas are no longer left behind, as infrastructure and digital connectivity reach even the most remote communities. Filipinos from all walks of life are participating in this progress, ensuring that no one is excluded from the nation's success story. The narrative has shifted, from stories of poverty and disaster to tales of innovation, entrepreneurship, and global achievement. Filipino startups are making waves in technology, and local entrepreneurs are being recognized on the world stage for their creativity and resilience. The Filipino diaspora, once known mainly for sending remittances, is now investing back home, fueling the new economy. Returning professionals bring global expertise, while families reunite to build businesses and strengthen communities, creating a powerful cycle of growth. Tourism is surging, powered by new airports, improved infrastructure, and world-class destinations. The Philippines' natural beauty is now matched by modern amenities, drawing visitors from around the globe and boosting local economies. Renewable energy, modern agriculture, and creative industries are thriving. Solar farms and smart farming techniques are transforming the countryside, while Filipino artists and creators are gaining international recognition, showcasing the nation's talent and innovation. Education and healthcare are being upgraded for a 21st century workforce. New schools and hospitals are equipping Filipinos with the skills and care they need to compete and excel in a rapidly changing world. Every sector is being energized and transformed, from manufacturing and technology to finance and creative arts. The workforce is adapting, learning, and leading the way toward a brighter future. The Philippines is no longer the sick man of Asia. It stands tall as a beacon of hope and progress, with its flag waving proudly over cities that pulse with ambition and optimism. It's a nation on the move, powered by resilience, ambition, and an unbreakable will to succeed. From athletes to entrepreneurs, Filipinos are pushing boundaries and inspiring the next generation. This is a structural transformation, not just a temporary boom. Massive infrastructure projects are laying the foundation for long-term growth, connecting people and markets like never before. For the world, the message is clear. The time to look at the Philippines is now. With its dynamic economy, skilled workforce, and spirit of resilience, the Philippines is ready to take its place on the global stage.